Didn't know I'd have to work so hard the first day. Yeah. Just so you know, I sometimes preach too long. So all you got to do is kind of look at your watch. But if it's a really good sermon and I'm having fun, you might want to put your watch up to your, I know, they're quartz, they don't tick like they used to. So if I'm still not paying attention after this, take it off and beat it on the back of the pew in front of you. And I will definitely go to the conclusion. How's that? Today is a dream of mine. And from what I've heard, it's a dream of yours. You're looking for someone that's going to be here for a while. And I want to be here for a while. So we have a common dream. I will do what I can to not muck it up and think, oh, I wish he would go. Because that's not part of your dream or my dream. But it could be considered part of a low dream. A low dream is, I hope he doesn't muck it up. So what do you do with a low dream? Figure out what I can do so I don't muck it up, and we all can fulfill this high dream of us being together, growing together in God, being connected to each other for the glory of God, learning from each other, growing together, making a difference in Rockford and wherever we are. That's our dream. In this sermon, I'd like to focus on dreams because it is a gift from God to all of us. And there are dreams that connect us all, the we dreams that we have of this church growing and flourishing and thriving into the future. Jacob, well, y'all know the story of Jacob, right? What a stinker. But he was a mama's boy. He did what mama told him. But before that, Jacob was a stinker. Now that's my dad's phrase. He was Norwegian, so that's got to be, I'm not sure what it would be in Norwegian, but he always said, well, so-and-so was a stinker. Well, what would you think of your brother or your sister, your spouse, if you were starving and they said, well, sure, I'll give you food, but you have to give me something first. You're starving. And Esau, his brother, who was starving and needed food, said to Jacob, give me food, please, I'm starving. And Jacob said, well, if you give me your firstborn rights, I'll give you some food. Well, what choice did he have? He was starving, right? So he did it. Probably a little bit of resentment. Wouldn't you be resentful? And then life goes on. Dad's dying. Well, Mom had a favorite. It was Jacob. And found a way to fool the dad to giving the last blessing to Jacob and not Esau. That stinker. But Mom told him to do it, so that was okay, right? Mom told me it was okay. He knew it wasn't. And when it was all over, he knew he was in trouble. What did he do? Well, there's three things you can do. One, you can stay there and fight, work it out. Two, just act like nothing happened. Or three, you could run. And you know what he did? He took off. He ran. It's scary to leave your family, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to ask you to raise your hand. If you were not born and raised in Rockford, raise your hand. Yeah, okay. You know what it's like to take off, even when it's well planned, even when it's part of your dream. It's still a bit scary. Now, this sermon bounces all over the place. Jacob had a dream, but before he had that dream, his father had a very similar dream, that his descendants would be as plentiful as the stars, and people would come from the north and the south and the east and the west. Big dream, big dream. I found it interesting that Jacob, as he's fleeing his brother. Why he picked a rock to put his head on, I don't know. I like the big, nice, fluffy pillows, don't you? So he probably had a headache or something. He wasn't comfortable. How could he sleep well? He had a dream. And in a dream, he saw a ladder. And angels were going up and going down. And y'all know what an angel is, right? An angel is a messenger, right? Very intelligent group. Sometimes it takes congregations of 3 or 4 seconds, but you just came up with it. That's great. So here's my other question to you. Do angels have wings or no wings? Wings. Everybody knows they have wings. Then why did they need a ladder? Yeah. That's just to get you thinking. That is totally irrelevant to the point. The point is, they're messengers. The point is, they were coming up and down from heaven to earth, and there's Jacob. And Jacob sees it. Messenger. What is God's message for him? What message are they bringing to him? Peace. You're going to be okay, Jacob. You're going to be blessed. And you're going to come back to this land where your family is. It's going to be okay, Jacob. Now, those of you who have left home, you need to hear that. It's going to be okay. Sometimes you can't wait to leave home. But after a while, you want to go back. Good things happen there. Jacob wanted to go back. He had this big dream that his descendants would be as plentiful as the sand, and that God would be with him. I'd like to thank the choir. I caught a phrase, may he abide in you forever. You know, we all want to abide in God. We want God to be with us. We want to be connected to God wherever we are. In the pulpit, back there, wherever, we want to be connected to God. But sometimes because we don't see God, well, it's hard. There was this little girl, she was praying at night, and she called out for her mommy. Mommy, come here, come here. I'm afraid. Oh, it's okay, honey. You'll be okay. You can just pray and know that God is with you, and you'll be okay. Mommy left, and Mommy, come back. Honey, it's going to be okay. Goes, I know, I prayed, but sometimes I just have to touch flesh. Sometimes it makes it more real for us. We know God is there in our head, but to feel God more, we need to touch each other and be connected. We need to have these dreams that guide us. Is it really going to be okay, God? And God gives us a dream. Jacob's dream was it was going to be okay. He would be blessed. That's a big dream. I'm going to jump ahead in Jacob's time. Jacob had a dream. It was time to go back. He believed his dream, so he gathered his wives and his fortune and headed back. And then he heard a message. The message was, your brother Esau's coming and he has 400 men. Oh, you know what he's thinking? He's going to that low dream. 400 men. Why does he need 400 men? Oh, he's going to get even with me. So, when you have that low dream, what do? One, it's not an excuse to not do something good. Low dreams are there to help you be aware of something that could cause you harm. So be aware of those reasons that scare you and go, oh, I could be hurt. Okay, yeah, you could. So what is it you have to do so that you will not be harmed? People in the church, their dream for today and tomorrow. We might have some great ideas, and then you'll think, oh no, that may not work out so well. Okay, be aware of it, and then make sure it doesn't work out so well. Make sure by changing your behavior, having actions so it does turn out well. You all are very intelligent, creative, resourceful people. You'll do that. So Jacob's afraid, and he comes up with a plan. Well, I'll divide up into two camps, and one group will survive. Sends one group over, and then he has another dream. And this is the epic dream where he wrestles with an angel or God. He wrestles. At the end of the night, he's tired, and his hip goes out of joint. He's hurt. The angel blesses him again. God blesses him. He's got that message that it's going to be okay. It's really going to be okay. You'll be blessed, and your descendants will be as numerous as the sand. And he's afraid. He's still afraid. Emotion is still there. Even though we have a big dream and we know this is what we got to do, sometimes we can still be afraid. It's okay. But there's something else that's really interesting about this story of Jacob that I want to leave you with. I need 2 volunteers. I see one putting a book away. Okay, we got one. Need one more. Come on up. Need one more person. Okay, come on up. Thank you. If you could be over on my left side of the ladder.
Both of us?
Both of you. This is to make sure nobody falls asleep. Okay, assume the wrestling position. Oh, no. Go back. You're wrestling. Okay, hold that. What do you see? What do you notice? Shout it out. We're all friends here. You're thinking it. Go ahead, say it. They're not looking at each other. Okay? They're looking at me. I don't know why.
You got us into this.
Yeah, I got you into it.
I actually volunteered.
I know. Yeah. What do you see? We're touching. Yeah. We're still smiling. So I didn't get too rough yet. Mom was in pain. Oh, maybe so. What do you notice? It's intimate. It's very intimate. I did this before at another church, and they wouldn't touch each other. And they were young, and I thought, come on, don't be so inhibited. Touch each other. You guys were great. You went right at it at the very beginning. Yeah. Touching is okay. It's public. Yeah. See, Jacob wrestled with God. Our relationship with God is incredibly intimate. And sometimes it gets messy. Sometimes we get hurt. I've noticed that we Christians sometimes think that life with God ought to be this idyllic thing where it's nice and sweet, nothing bad ever happens. We're all good, nice. What's that phrase? Midwestern nice? Have you heard that? Yeah. But this is a great story about how God sends us messages. God gives us dreams, high dreams, and God's aware of our low dreams. God gives us intelligence to figure it out. We're still worried, and God comes to us in a dream, and we wrestle with God. And sometimes we walk with a limp because of it, because we were so intimate. It was hard work, really hard work. Jacob is a great illustration for us that maybe we haven't worked hard enough in our faith to struggle with our relationship with God, to do what we're called to do. We need to wrestle with that fear, that angst, in order to make that blessing a reality. See, the other part, you guys can sit down now, thank you. You were great, thank you. You get a bonus for doing this. As you can tell, I'm more Norwegian than Jewish. Yeah, so are most of you all. We are grafted into the blessing of Jacob. We are the sands of the blessing of Jacob. Through Christ, we have been engrafted into this great family of Israel, one who wrestles with God. And so that blessing to Jacob is really a reality because of you and me. See how amazing God is? Who would have thought? In just a few moments, we're going to go to a time of reflection. And I would like for you to reflect upon God's dream to you as an individual, but also God's dream for you in this church, but also God's dream for you in the community. What is God saying? What is God doing? What are your fears? Where do you need to get hold of God a little bit tighter and wrestle? And then celebrate. Celebrate our dreams in the journey. Let us pray. And God is with you, and you are blessed, and you will be a blessing to others. Amen. Let us read together the affirmation of faith. Let us begin. Just like Jacob, who went to sleep feeling afraid about tomorrow, God speaks to us. God finds many entry points into our lives. For that, we are grateful. Like Jacob, we respond, "Here I am." Let us stand and sing, "Be Thou My Vision," page 595.